Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. Chosen ones, empaths, reality has struck for the narcissist. Reality has struck hard for the narcissist. They thought they were heading to a better place. They thought they were heading to a better place. But oh, they have failed so miserably. The narcissist involved in your life has failed so miserably. They thought they had it all worked out. They thought they had it all worked out, right? You know? When they were with you, right? They were devaluing you, abusing you. Maybe dropping in some sprinkles of love bomb here and there. And naturally, your energy started to deplete. It's natural. It's a natural thing that occurs. By being entangled with a narcissist, no matter how potent your energy is, it depletes, right? So the narcissist starts to blame you. The narcissist gets angry and raging at you because you're no longer providing that potent supply like you once did. So their eyes get big and wide. And they begin looking on the TV and looking on social media at other people's relationships, right? They begin comparing. Narcissists love to compare. They're comparing your relationship that they're in with you to other people's. And they're thinking, oh, other people's are better, right? They start thinking other people's are better. So they blame you. They put you through the devaluation. They put you through hells of abuse, right? And eventually the inevitable discard happens, right? Or maybe they even got too toxic and you cut them off. Or maybe they done it in a covert way and reverse discard you. However they managed to sever the tie, they severed the tie. But you know, through this process, right? When they were devaluing you, treating you bad, right? They were caught in new supplies because that's what they do. They're deviants, right? They may have been on dating apps or they may have been speaking to other people that they met at work or wherever they are. This is what they do, right? So they thought they had their master thesis all worked out. They thought they had the master plan, right? They believed they're going to better places. But oh, they failed so miserably. So miserably they failed, right? So the inevitable happened and you went your separate ways from this narcissist that was involved in your life. You went your separate ways. And, you know, when they first got over there, they thought it was great. But it's bittersweet. They thought it was great, but it's a bittersweet. I'm telling you, very quickly, it started to fade. The infatuation that they had for the new supply began to fade very, very quickly. You know, when these two dusties rock up next to each other and they're in the same room together, oh God, if you were a fly on the wall, there's nothing there. There's no chemistry. You've got to understand that because of your empathetic abilities and the beautiful creation that you are, you did actually have chemistry with this narcissist. Now, I know some of you may disagree with what I'm saying here, but you did actually have foundations for a healthy relationship, at least on your side of things, right? And by you putting in this so much effort into this relationship that you were involved in with the narcissist involved in your life, it created some form of chemistry. Even though you were being abused and devalued, it created some form of chemistry. There was a bond there. There was a bond there. There was. Some of you were with these people for decades, but there was a bond there, right? No one can dispute that. There was a bond there, and that's why you feel so hurt and betrayed after it ends. But the narcissist didn't want to take into consideration any of that. They didn't want to take into consideration the bond that you shared. They didn't want to take into consideration all the love and support that you provided for them, the potent supply that you provided for them. They just wanted to blame you because you stopped operating at that level of potency. They had enough. And they went over to the other pastures, the greener blades of grass, inverted commas. And they got over there, and as I said to you in the segment earlier, at first they thought it was great. And they were probably rubbing your nose in it, trying to make you jealous. Please press the like and the subscribe button, help your brother out. It will take 2 seconds of your time. Thank you. But as I said, it fades very quickly. And the narcissist begins to realize how irreplaceable the chosen one and the empath actually is. You see, you done certain things in that relationship that you were involved in with the narcissist that no one on earth will do for this narcissist. So it could be a myriad of things, right? There's just ways that you conduct yourself in life, right? Towards people you're involved with. There's just ways you conduct yourself that these people are not amounting to. This new supply is not amounting to your level. They're not providing that potent supply for starters. They're not providing the love, care, and support that you provided, right? Most likely they've ran into another toxic individual because the fact of the matter is this new supply knew who you was. This new supply knew all about you. This new supply knew all about your secrets. This new supply knew everything because the narcissist was conversing with them when you were still around. Now, I'm not trying to trigger anyone here. I'm not trying to anger anyone here. But this is what was happening, right? The narcissist doesn't just get up and leave for no reason. They're caught in new supplies. Now, I know that's hurtful to you. But you've got to understand this is their misdirection of life. This is a big mistake they make in life, right? You see, when you were still around providing the supply that you had left, and they were taming this new supply, they were caught in this new supply. Yes, it seemed good because they had the best of both worlds. They had the potent, loving, caring empath there being obedient and subservient towards them. And they also had this new toy to play with, right? They also had this new toy. But when you leave them alone with this new toy is not so shiny, it's not so great, and it's not so wonderful. And then they realize that they made a dreadful mistake, right? So the narcissist is suffering with your absence. They know how irreplaceable you actually are, right? They know that no one they encounter can amount to you. So you may see, some of you may see, that these situationships between the narcissist and the new supply end very abruptly, end very quickly. Others of you will see them clinging for dear life to one another. The two dusties clinging for dear life because they're both afraid of being alone, right? You've got to understand this new supply that they're with probably had someone who maybe it was a genuine, might not have been an empath, but they might have had someone who was regular and genuine in their life. And they push that person aside too to go with the narcissist. You see, both the supply and the narcissist are putting on this whole illusionary effect. You know, they're portraying this false persona to the world, right? They're portraying their best efforts, and they can't keep that up for so long, right? They can't keep that up for so long. That's the thing, right? They can't keep it up, right? This effort of masquerading with this artificial light, they can't keep it up. And to be honest with you, they still had some of your light when they were first involved with this new supply anyway, right? Because they take your light, they try and steal your light, you know? There's things that you used to do in the relationship or things that you're into, your hobbies or your interests. And the narcissist will go to this new supply and talk to the new supply like that's their way of life. That's what they'll do because narcissists are boring creatures. They don't have nothing going for themselves. So they'll make out to the new supply, oh, this is what they're into. They live a lie. They live a complete and utter lie, right? But reality is struck hard for the narcissist. They're there now with this new supply, or if it's not ended already, and they realize that they've messed the fuck up. That's what they realize. They realize they messed the fuck up by letting you go. Seriously now. I don't like to swear, but it's true. They realize this. They're out there and they know they effed the hell up, right? They made a dreadful mistake in letting you go. A huge mistake. But this is just the way it works. This is just the way the cookie crumbles, right? They had it all with you. They had the love. They had the care. They had the support. You were building foundations for your relationship. They had it all. You know, I've heard of stories of survivors building wonderful homes. I see it in the comments section. I've spoke to survivors too. Building wonderful homes, wonderful family units. And it's not good enough for the narcissist at the time. The narcissist runs off with a new supply. Breaks the family apart. Right? Breaks the family apart. But then they get over there and they don't want to be there. They don't want to be there. This occurs so frequently with cheating and deception. You see, they have a certain energy about them during the early days when it's a secret, when they're sneaking around, you know? It keeps them ticking over. It keeps them ticking over because they're getting large amounts of supply. They're getting supply from the new supply. They're getting supply from you, and it ticks them over and it makes them think they're heading in the right direction. Only for them to get over there finally when you're out of their life, and it's just a big mistake. It's a big mistake. So some of you are going to get hoovers. Some of you are going to get hoovers from the narcissist that was involved in your life. Please, people, do not let them back in, right? They're probably, you know, at least some point if today they've looked at your social media or tried to find out some information about you, to find out maybe if you've moved on or to find out what you're doing with your life or if you're still hurt and feeling betrayed. See, the narcissist will, if they know you're still hurt and you're in a moment of weakness, they will try and come back. But if they see that you're like steadfast and strong and resilient and you've overcome the hurt, then they'll hide. They'll clutch to this, they'll cling to this new supply out of desperation. This is what they'll do. But you're irreplaceable. You really need to know how special you truly are. You need to know how special you truly are, honestly speaking. Like, you are so blessed to have the character you have and the way your conduct is and the person that you are. You know, you deserve so much better than this parasite that was involved in your life, the narcissist that was involved in your life. You deserve so much better than that. And you will find that. You will find that. I assure you, you will find that. Take your time in healing. Take the appropriate time out that you need to heal, right? Because you do have wounds to attend to. This you are a victim of abuse, and this narcissist inflicted many injuries onto you, right? And the thing is the narcissist has got many injuries inflicted on them as well. They feel like an idiot now. They feel like an absolute idiot, right? Because they had it all. They had it all. They had the loving family, this can even occur in friendships, you know. This can even occur in any aspect of relationships, right? Friends, family members, colleagues, associates. You know, when these individuals, these narcissists have the chosen one in their life, life's bright for them. Life's good for them. It's easy for them, right? They're getting this potent supply. And they just make the stupid mistake of thinking that they can get better. And they always do this. They're so ungrateful, right? They're so ungrateful, these narcissists that are involved in your life. They're so ungrateful, and they never pay your dues for what you're worth. And that's their biggest mistake too, Because if they had a minuscule amount of gratitude, right? If they had a minuscule amount of gratitude, they'll say, right, this person's like my ride or die. This person's been there for me. This person's supported me. This person's cared for me. And they would have some gratitude. But they don't. So all their whole functioning goes off the supply source that you're providing. So naturally, a supply source fluctuates. On some days it's high, on some days it goes lower. This is what happens to the chosen one and the empath. You're not a robot. You can't just keep producing this supply at the same power wattage or whatever, and keep producing this supply at the same frequency or at the same power. You can't keep producing it at that same rate. It's just not possible for human beings. You're not a robot, right? So the narcissist gets injuries through this. And I made a video on the YouTube channel, I believe, where the narcissist blames you for the breakup. They actually blame you. And the reason why they blame you is because of your supply source. Oh, because your supply source, you didn't treat me the same way as you did on this week. You know, you didn't treat me the same way as you did last week. This is what the deluded narcissist thinks in their head, right? It's what they think in their heads, you know? But they're with this new supplier now, or they've already left the new supplier and they're on to newer supplies, you know? Nothing's stopping them now. They're out there trying to find your replacement, failing every time. And reality has striked them down, brought them down a lot, right? They're out there believing that they can somehow find a replacement, but they fail at every turn. They know they can't deep inside. Deep inside, they know they've let the biggest treasure, that's you, out of their lives. They know this. Some of you are so supportive. Some of you are so caring, you know, so loyal, so true to the narcissist involved in your life. You know, you honestly offered your best version of yourself towards them. And it wasn't met with reciprocity. It wasn't met with reciprocation. They didn't value it, right? And it's their loss. So anyone that walks out of your life, remember it's their loss. And they will soon realize how much it's their loss, right? So just understand that reality is struck now for the narcissist. The narcissist knows how irreplaceable you are. Every person they come into contact with is a constant reminder that it's not you, right? They will be spying on your social media, stalking your social media. They will be doing these types of things. Some of them may resort to hoovering. You know, best advice I can give is don't communicate with them. You know, they've made their bed, let them lay in it, right? You can't let someone back in your life after they walked out on you or reverse discarded you or whatever. Even if some of you were the ones that discarded them, right? Or cut them off, should I say, right? Even if you were the one that cut them off, they were becoming so toxic and talking to new suppliers and cheating and doing all of this stuff, which led you to make that decision. They weren't being true. They weren't being transparent. They weren't being honest. They weren't being loyal, right? So regardless if you were the one that discarded them, reverse discarded them, or cut them off because they become too toxic. Regardless if you were the one that was discarded, reverse discarded, or you cut them off because they become too toxic, it doesn't really matter, you know. They wasn't showing you their best version. They wasn't being true and transparent and honest and loyal and kind and loving and empathetic, right? So they have to deal with the reality of the situation. It's literally reality is strike now, you know. They have to deal with these new suppliers that don't have your attributes, that don't have the care and the levels of love that you used to provide, that don't have that potent source of supply that you used to provide. They have to deal with that now. They have to feast on the scraps. That's what they have to enjoy. They have to learn to live with it. As long as you are affirmative and sure in yourselves to never let them back in. And for those of you that make the mistake of letting them back in, hopefully this video is enough information for you to make the decision to firmly let them go, right? Because this is what it is, right? They're out there and they're trying to find your replacement, and they're failing at every turn. They will never find your replacement. They can never find a replacement for a chosen one or empath, ever. And like I always say, even if they ran into another empath or chosen one, they're so caught up on the supply, the tailor-made supply that you used to provide, they won't even recognize the qualities of another chosen one or empath. You see, they become codependent upon your supply source, and that's what it's all about. They're codependent upon the unique supply source that you offered, and that's what will always remain embedded in their consciousness, right? The supply source that you provided, and they won't be able to get anyone to replace that. It's impossible. So anyway, thank you for watching today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can find the link in the description box. And if you'd like a one-to-one session with myself, you can also find the link in the description box. Currently, I've got the secondary channel, the spiritual channel. Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.